Hello, great morning parents, guardian, and students. Ngayon pong week 2, kumusta po ang ating week 1? So, if tayo po ay stress sa buong isang linggo nung nagdaan dahil nanibago tayo, so I hope ay malaking help ang nagagay tayo ng ating mga parents, ng ating mga guardian. At the same time, malaking help din ang manood o mapanood ang video. So last week, na-discuss natin ang first lesson in Mathematics 7. Again, I'm Ami Gire, Teacher 3 ng Banoyo National High School, Grade 7 Mathematics Teacher. So last week, na-discuss po natin ang about sets and terms related to sets like subset. So when we heard the word subset, so example, if the given set A have an elements of 1, 2, 3, so ang mga subset niya, pwede pong isang element. 1 is a subset of set A, 2 is a subset of set A, an element of 3 is a subset of set A. So, pwede rin pong elements na dalawa ang maging subset ng set A. 1, 2 is a subset of set A, 2, 3 is a subset of set A, and 1, 3 is a subset of set A. And pwede rin tatlong elements ang maging subset ng set A. 1, 2, 3 is a subset of set A. And a null set or an empty set is a subset of set A. Universal sets, when we heard the word universal, lahat ng elements na sa given sets ay pagsasama-samahin natin at the same time, isang beses lang susulatin kung may duplication. Empty set or a null set, walang element na matatagpuan sa given set na hinahanap. Cardinality set, bibilangin natin ilang element ang nakapaloob sa set na tinatanong, union set. So, ang union set ay pinagsama-samang elements ng dalawa o tatlong sets na kung may mga duplication ay isang beses lang susulatin. At ang intersection set naman ay yung parehas nilang element or common characteristic or common elements. Difference of two elements ay yung natira doon sa dalawang set na elements, yon ang difference of two sets. So this week, ating pag-aaralan ang tungkol sa Venn diagram and problem solving involving Venn diagram. So learning competency for this week, solve problems or operation involving sets with the use of Venn diagram. So our learning objective is the same as we need to solve problems, operation involving sets with the use of Venn diagram. Let us define first or in a learning task 1. Answering this learning task 1, of course, in our intermediate paper, list down inside the diagram what is as in each set. Set A is the set of factors of 12. So, lahat ng possible factors ng 12 ay ating ilalagay dito sa set A. Then, set B is the set of prime numbers less than 15. Hindi pwedeng bumaba ng less than 15 ang lahat ng elements na ilalagay natin sa set B na lahat ay prime numbers from 1 to 15 or less than 15. And set C is the set of even numbers less than 15. Lahat ng even numbers na mayroon sa numbers 1 to 15 ay ilalagay natin dito sa set C. So may mga possible na magkakapareha. So alamin natin ano ba yung factors ng 12. Na dapat pag even numbers, merong naka-indicate dito sa C dahil may even numbers. At ang prime numbers naman dito ay naka-indicate dito sa B para makita natin yung common elements ng mga sets na given. So yan po ang ating learning task 1. So babalikan po natin ano-ano ang mga factors ng 12 o factors ng number na pag ating minultiply 12 ang lalabas. Pag prime number, the product is the factors is 1 and itself. So or recall what prime number is and even numbers. Now, let us define Venn diagram. A Venn diagram is a diagram that uses circles to represent sets. The relation between the sets is indicated by the arrangement of circles. The Venn diagram is a way of representing sets visually and is named after its inventor, British mathematician John Venn, 1834 to 1923. So in solving set operations using Venn diagram or solving problems involving Venn diagram or diagram, the following are to be considered or to be followed. Step number 1, determine what is given and what are being asked. Step number 2, illustrate using the Venn diagram. Step number 3, determine what operations to be used. Step 4, use operations. And 5, answer the questions being asked. So, we have many examples para maklear natin paano tayo makakapag-solve ng problem solving involving Venn diagram or sets. Example, use Venn diagram to represent the following sets. The first is the universal set. Have an elements of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So these are all elements of the universal set. Next, set A. So set A have an elements of 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So this is the Venn diagram where set A is given the even numbers. So if we consider or if we analyze or describe set the universal, that is counting number from 1 to 10. And set A is a set of even numbers from 1 to 10. And set B are counting numbers from 5 to 9. So this is the 5, element of 5, element of 6, element of 7, element of 8, and element of 9. So this is how to illustrate the given sets and of course the Venn diagram. So another example, number 2, use Venn diagram to represent set and set of operations. So we have 3 given sets. We have set A, set B, and set C. So in set A, we have an elements of 2, 5, 6, 8, 9. And set B have an elements of 1, 3, 7, 9. Set C have an elements of 4, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So if we find the intersection of the given set like set A, intersection of set C. Ano ang parehas na element na mayroon ng set A at set C? At yun ay ang elements na 8 and 9. Then, set B and set C. So, intersection of set B and set C. So, we have an elements of 7 and 9. Then, The intersection of the three sets. Ano yung pare-parehas na elements mayroon ang set A, set B, and set C? At ito ay ang 9. So I hope clear po kung paano i-illustrate or illustrate through the given diagram ang mga sets and sets of operations. Example number 4. 60 students of grade 7 charity, whereas if they have pet animals at home, 40 of the students have dogs and 35 have cats. So itong 40 students ay mayroon din dito sa 40 students na mayroon din siyang cats. Doon din sa 35, mayroon din dito na mayroon dogs at hindi lamang cats. Okay. So, how many students have dogs only? That is the question. B, how many students own cats only? C, how many students have both pet animals? So, first, before that, we need to write first what are the given. So, the given, we have set. Let us consider, or let S sub 1 is the set of students with dogs only. S sub 2 is the set of students with both pets. And S sub 3 is the set of students with cats only. So through this diagram, ito ang set S sub 1, which is the number of dogs only. At ito ang kanyang intersection, or it means parehas na mayroong pusa at mayroong alagang dog. At ang S sub 3 is the set of students with cats only. Then of course, what is us? So nandoon sa una natin, ang mga tinatanong itong ABC, how many students have dogs only? How many students own cats only? And how many students have both pet animals? Okay, so this is our formula to be used. We need to add yung mayroon lamang alagang aso at ang S sub 2 ay yung parehas na may alagang aso at may alagang pusa plus yung mayroon lang alagang pusa. A total of 60 students. So, let us use first the S sub n, S sub 1 at saka yung NS sub 2, which is equal to 40. Ano ito? Ito yung may alagang aso. Ito yung may alaga lamang aso at ito yung hindi lang aso ang alaga niya kundi pati pusa. So cancel or using subtraction, mayroong natira tayong N sub NS or number of S sub 3. Ano ba yung ating S sub 3? Yung mayroon lamang alagang pusa. And 60 minus 40 is equal to 20. So ang NS sub 3 or ang is 20 of students who have cats only. Now, again, kopyahin uli natin itong formula. Ang may alagang aso lamang, ang parehas na may alagang aso at pusa, at ito ang may alaga lamang pusa, is equal to 60. So, kuhanin naman natin itong NS sub 2 na may alagang pusa at aso at ang may alaga lamang pusa is equal to 35. Again, gagamitan natin ng operation na subtraction. May natirang NS sub 1. And that is yung mayroon lang. Ito lang yung total na number ng students na ang alaga lang ay aso. So therefore, we have 25 students who have dogs only. Now, complete na. Pwede na natin gamitin ang substitution. Again, use again our formula to solve the remaining, yung natitirang NS sub 2. So, NS sub 1 plus NS sub 2 plus NS sub 3 is equal to 60. Substitute the value of number of students who have dogs only and number of students who have cats only to find the number of students who have both cats and dogs. So we have 20 plus ns sub 2 plus 25 is equal to 60 by substitution. Then combine 20 and 25, we have ns sub 2 plus 45 equals 60. Then to solve this one, we need to subtract both sides by 45. So ns sub 2 plus 45 minus 45 equals 60 minus 45. So the number of students who have both kinds of pet animals is 15 students. So therefore, we can answer now the questions. The question number 1. So we have how many students have dogs only? We have 21 students with dogs only. Then how many students own cats only? So we have 20 students with cats only. And how many students have both pet animals? We have 15 students with both pets. So this is one of the example of problem solving at paano natin siya isolve. So we need to follow yung step in solving problem solving. So we need to write first the given. We need to write, of course, what is asked and illustrate it using diagram. Then, what operation is to be used and solve the problems. Then, check your answer. So, pwede po natin balikan ang mga samples na maririnig at mapapanood nyo sa video ito. Another example. Example number 5. Let set A and set B two finite sets such the number of elements in set A is 20 and number of elements in set B is 28. And the union, ibig sabihin yung total elements ng set A and set B have a total of 36. So we need to find the number of elements intersect or the intersection of set A and set B. So determine what is given and what are asked or being asked. Given n of set A is equal to 20, number of set B is equal to 28, and number of the union of set A and set B is equal to 36. As find the number of intersection of set A and set B. So this is how the illustration of the given problem. So this is set A and this is set B. So ang set A, ito ang kabuuan ng set A and set B number of elements is 36. Determine what operation to be used. Use the formula N, number of elements, number of the union of number of elements of the union of set A and set B is equal to number of elements of set A plus number of elements of set B minus the number of elements of the intersection of set A and set B. Then we have N of intersection of set A and set B is equal to number of set A plus number of set B minus number of elements of the union of set A and set B times n, the union the intersection of set A and set B. So this is 20 by substitution. Number of elements of set A is 20 and number of elements of set B is 28. And number of elements of intersection union of set A and set B is 36. So times number of elements of intersection of set A and set B. Cancel the 2. So n is equal to this one. So 36. So 40, 20 plus 28 is equal to 48 minus 36. So therefore, the number of intersection of elements of set A and set B is 12. So, pwede po uli nating i-recall po itong paliwanag na another example. Use the operation. So, ito yon, we have 8 and 12 siya. Bakit? Because 20 minus 12 ay 8. And 28 minus 12 ay 16. So, ang walang kaparehas na number ay 8 elements in set A at walang kaparehas o common elements in set A, set B. In set B is 16 elements. So, this is the kung paano gamitin ang operation. So, the answer the question being asked. So to find the number of elements of the intersection of set A and set B is equal to 12. Example number 6. In a junior high school, 200 students were randomly selected. 140 like T. So diyan sa may gusto ng tea ay meron ding parehas sa may gusto ng coffee sa 140. So the same also in 120 like coffee, meron din dito sa 120 students, meron din dito na may gustong tea. And 80 like both tea and coffee. So may exact numbers of students who both like tea and coffee. So, how many students like only tea? How many students like only coffee? And how many students like neither tea or coffee? Solution. Step number 1, determine what is given and what are being asked. So the given are the following: 200 junior student, high school students who were randomly selected. 100 students who like tea, 120 students who like coffee, and 80 students who like both tea and coffee. Ask, how many students like only tea? How many students like only coffee? And how many students like neither tea or nor coffee? Illustrate the Venn diagram. Using the Venn diagram, let T is equal to set of students who like only tea. And C, sets of students who like only coffee. X is the set of students who like neither tea nor coffee. So the Venn diagram is shown below. So eto, kasi given na yung 80, both like na mayroong na mayroong may gusto ng coffee at the same time may gusto ng tea. So let us now solve. Determine what operations to be used. So to obtain T, T is equal to 140. Ito yung 100 at saka minus yung 80 students na parehas na may gusto ng both T and students who like tea minus students who like both tea and coffee. So T is equal to 60 sets of students who like tea only. So 60 students. Now, to obtain C, or number of students who like only coffee, so 120 minus 80 students who like coffee minus students who like both tea and coffee. 120 minus 80 is equal to 40 sets of students who like coffee only. So to obtain X, so 200 minus T plus C plus 80, a total of students who were random selected minus the total of T, C, and 80. So therefore, that is 60, 180 by substitution. So 200 minus 180 by simplifying. So 20 sets of students who like neither tea nor coffee. So using the operation, so we have 60 ang may gusto lamang ng tea, at 40 ang may gusto lamang ng coffee, at 80 students ang may gusto ng parehas na and 20 ang ang alin? Ayaw ng, kasi pag inad natin ito, 140 plus ayaw ng coffee at ng tea. So, therefore, answer the questions being asked. How many students like only tea? 60 students. And how many students like only coffee? 40 students. And how many students like neither tea nor coffee? So 20 students. So I hope clear po. Example number 7. A group of 25 high school students were asked whether they use either Facebook or Twitter or both. 15 of these students use Facebook and 12 students use Twitter. So doon sa 15 students, meron din doong students na mayroong gumagamit ng Twitter. At doon sa 12 students, mayroon ding gumagamit doon ng Facebook. So how many students use Facebook only? How many students use Twitter only? How many students use both social networking sites? So, solution. Step number 1, determine what is given and what are being asked. Given, we have 25 high school students who were asked whether they use either Facebook or Twitter or both. Then 15 students who use Facebook. 12 students who use Twitter. Ask, how many students or how many use Facebook only? B, how many use Twitter only? And C, how many use both social networking sites? So, step number 2, let us illustrate using the Venn diagram. So, let F, set of students who use Facebook only. Yung lamang Facebook ang ginagamit niya, hindi siya gumagamit ng Twitter. Then, T, set of student who use Twitter only. So, gumagamit lang siya ng Twitter, hindi siya gumagamit ng Facebook. And B, set of students who use both social networking sites. So, the Venn diagram is shown below. So, ito ang set ng mga elements o gumagamit ng Facebook at ito ang set ng gumagamit ng Twitter at ang intersection ng dalawa ang tinatawag na both, na B. Determine what operation is to be used. So that is the computation. So set B. So face F plus T minus 25. The sum of Facebook and T minus 25 total number of T is total number of students. Then that is 15 plus 12 minus 25, a total of 27 minus 25. So ang gumagamit ng ang gumagamit in both set of students who use both social networking ay 2. Then to obtain F, yung gumagamit ng Facebook lamang. So 50 minus B. And that is 15 minus 2, a total of 13 students who use Facebook only. Then to obtain T, 12 minus B. So 12 minus 2 is equal to 10. So 10 of students who use Facebook only. So this is the computation or how to solve the given problems using sets and involving Venn diagram. So use the operations. The number of elements in each region is shown below. So 13 lang ang gumagamit ng Facebook at 2 ang gumagamit ng Facebook at Twitter at 10 students lang ang gumagamit ng Twitter. So this is how to use the operation using Venn diagram. So step number 5, answer the question being asked. So how many use Facebook only? 13 students. How many use Twitter only? 10 students. And how many use both social networking sites? We have 2 students. So I hope clear to each and everyone. So problem solving involving sets and using Venn diagram. Now, we will answer, this is for the second or possible ay second day. So, pwede niyong balikan uli ang ating mga examples para masagutan natin ng maayos ang ating mga learning tasks. Learning task number 2, complete the Venn diagram. So, set of whole numbers from 1 to 15. Set A, ito ang set A natin, all even number in this set. So, lahat ng even number ilalagay natin. Pero before that, pwede nating unahin si 3. Multiples of 3. So, ano ba yung multiples of 3? From 1 to 15, isusulat natin dito. So, yung alam natin parehas na mayroon, even numbers ha. Ang mga even numbers na multiple of 3 ay ilalagay dito sa kanyang intersection. Number 2, the set of whole number from 1 to 20. So, 1 to 20, tingnan nyo ito, set C, ito ang set D. Ang set C ay all even numbers and all multiples of 4. Lahat ng multiple of 4. From 1 to 20 ay dito sa set D ilalagay. Next, then set of the whole numbers from 1 to 20 again, set E. 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. Then, set F, yung lahat ng number na naka-indicate dito ay ilalagay natin sa set B. At yung alam natin parehas ang elements ng set E at set B, dito natin ilalagay sa intersection ng dalawang given set. So, I hope po, clear po. Ano? Letter B. Solve problem using Venn diagram to help you. So, may mga sample. Pwede pong balikan natin ang ating mga sample na pinaliwanag ko kanina. So, a group of 60 students were asked whether they watch TV Patrol or 24 hours, both program depending on the news. So, 38 of these watch TV Patrol and 32 watch 24 oras. So, question, how many watch TV Patrol only? B, how many watch 24 oras, 24 na oras only? And how many watch both news programs? So, balikan nyo lang po yung mga examples natin na pattern at iyon lang din po ang pattern natin to solve problems using Venn diagram. Number 2, learning task number 3, using Venn diagram. Write down at least 10 of your characteristic sarili mo, and 2 of your members' characteristic, then answer the following. So, in learning task number 3, using a Venn diagram, write down at least 10 of your characteristics of you and 2 of your family members' characteristic. Then answer the following questions. So, it means you will draw 3 circles, then you will put all 10 characteristics in one circle, yung characteristic mo. And 10 characteristic of other members of the family, at least 2 members of your family. Then kung parehas o nagkakaparehas ng characteristic, ipe-place o dun isusulat sa area ng intersection part. So kung meron kayong pagkakatulad, as 1 o yung with common characteristic kayong 3, doon ipe-place yung characteristic na yun sa intersection part. Then answer the following questions. What are your similarities? Number 2, what are the distinct characteristics among each of you? And number 3, from whom did you get more of your characteristics? Okay, so I hope clear to each and everyone ang ating topic for this week about problem solving or operation involving sets using Venn diagram. So, pwede po uli nating i-repeat yung panonood ng video para mas maayos nating magawa ang mga learning tasks for this week. So, thank you for watching. Keep safe always. And happy learning to each and everyone. God bless.